Part of a major corruption and international money laundering conspiracy probe. They include the mayors of 3 New Jersey cities, a long list of officials and religious leaders.
Along with the 2 mayors, there's an assemblyman, several power brokers from Jersey City, including the deputy mayor. Names will continue to be added to this extensive list of politicians, both Democrats and Republicans, religious leaders and others, all caught in this state. Rabbis from New Jersey and New York are accused in this criminal scheme, facing charges of bribery, money laundering, and illegal organ brokering.
The FBI says it also stumbled upon a Brooklyn man who was offering to broker the sale of human kidneys. They say for $160,000, he would find donors in Israel who needed the money and then fool U.S. hospitals that the donor and recipient were related. They say he'd been doing this for more than 10 years.
And prosecutors say rabbis at synagogues in New Jersey and New York helped the informant launder over $3 million by sending it to contacts in Israel who returned cash.
Both accused of using the nonprofit charities connected to their synagogues to wash criminally obtained money for a 5 to 10% cut of each transaction. This member of the Sephardic Jewish community had just finished his prayers at sunrise when FBI agents raided.
Facing charges of child sex abuse. Mendel Tevel is wanted by New York police for alleged crimes involving at least 1 young boy.
An acidic teenager from the village of New Square shares his story of abuse and betrayal.
He was sexually abused by a trusted teacher and then was shunned by his community as he tried to get justice.
Arguably one of the most religious, most insular,
make a U-turn and go.
Places in all of America.
I love to live here. It's very quiet. Only Jews. Only Jews.
In New Square, the signs are in Hebrew. The women are forbidden to drive, and the Torah dominates every aspect of life. Yossi claims religious leaders staged a cover-up of epic proportions, sending Taubenfeld to Israel to obtain, of all things, this prestigious license to become a rabbi, and offering Yossi $100,000 in hush money.
He's been charged with sexually molesting a 16-year-old girl beginning when she was just 12, but on this night, hundreds of Hasidic Jews packed the hall and plunked down money to help support him.
He has a lot of support in the community.
And tell me how much money you hope to raise?
$500,000.
Investigators say he made videos available to be downloaded by others. Those videos allegedly showing children as young as 4 years old taking part in sexual acts. They're saying that they were linked directly to your IP address.
They could say whatever they want.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally.
Hollywood is run by Jews. It's owned by Jews.
It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry.
They say.
Well, the money laundering aspect to Hollywood is very intriguing. How would you define that?
Right. I mean, the money laundering thing, how would I define it is basically they're reporting that films cost X amount to make, and instead it costs maybe 1/10 or 1/100th of that. And so the people, the producers who put the money into the film, they never put that money in, but then they report it as a loss, right? So then they don't have to pay taxes on that and or anything else, right? So,
I guess you can just shape an entire population's state of mind through the media. And it's as true for Hollywood as, say, North Korea, Iran, or anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is what really demonstrates the interlocking nature of Hollywood and Washington and the military-industrial complex is how perfectly it was synced up that in the late 80s, you know, the Soviets stopped being the bad guys and they started introducing Arab terrorists. And in the late 80s and all through the 90s, the boogeyman in films was Arab terrorists. And then conveniently you have 9/11, and the public has already been prepared for, 15 years that, with all of these, memes and tropes in their head that, oh yeah, Arabs are terrorists, right? They're fanatical. The connection between Hollywood filmmaking and Washington policy is tightly linked. I mean, a lot of things that are going to happen are revealed actually in film. Even the Simpsons, on many episodes, they talk about things, or they'll show subliminal messages, or they'll have something going on in the background exposing an event, including, I think, 9/11, or say the war in Syria, years before they happen.
Are you Jewish?
Am I Jewish? No, actually, I'm Catholic.
Wrong answer. Try again.
What?
Look, you want to work in this town, or don't you?
HSBC is one of the largest banks in the world. It's a British bank, and they were caught red-handed. They were dealing with some of the top drug lords in the world. They were basically laundering their money for them, billions of dollars, but not just the drug cartels, but they were also dealing with terrorists, Al-Qaeda. So they just announced, and they're very proud about it, a $1.9 billion fine. None of the executives will be punished. No one will go to jail. No one will go to trial. Of course, they're too big to jail.
Documents reveal that global banking giant HSBC profited from doing business with arms dealers who channeled mortar bombs to child soldiers in Africa, bag men for third world dictators, traffickers in blood diamonds, and other international outlaws. They ended up doing business with Al-Qaeda. The funding for 9/11 was funneled through HSBC. This is the big whopper of all the facts. They failed to track $60 trillion in suspicious activity.